Alrighty, boys and girls. Well, in today's video, we're going to be trying to answer the most important question right now. Is the bottom in on Bitcoin? Is the bottom in on altcoins, meme coins? What's going on here, right? Because this is the most important question to answer right now so that we know what's going on. Like people that are on the sidelines waiting to buy would want to know, and the people that are holding as well will want to know if the pain is over, sure, right? Like it's been painful recently. What's going on? So we're going to try to look into that in today's video, guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. And you know what to do. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. So back in the days here in 2022 and the end of the bear market, I made this tweet back in the 20th of January 2023. So the tweet was like, so who's going to admit that 15K on Bitcoin was the bottom, right? So because this is basically the most important question to answer, you can obviously guess that nobody here, or very few people, the majority were still bearish, calling for 10K Bitcoin. People were looking lower. People were having lower targets to the downside because we've been on this downtrend for a long time. Obviously, this is a bear market, right? This was a bear market. It's heavy. But answering that question made me buy and start buying because finally started seeing signs of that was possibly the bottom. Now, obviously, this was a bit of a late thing here in January 20, and this was here, right? So this was this candle here on this move up. Let me show it to you, this one here, right? So this was confirmed, or this was confirmed that 15K is the bottom because we changed this market structure, right? We changed it and then we started trending higher. But obviously back here, you still think that maybe this is another lower high and we're gonna go lower from here. But obviously after 1 year of bear market, you're finally gonna have to start taking bets again to the upside in the market. Start looking for higher prices instead of lower prices. But that's basically what it comes down to. If you can answer that question, then you'll be printing. So today, what I want to really answer, which is something I've been thinking about, is this wick here, right? This is it, right? This 49K 200. Is this, or was this the bottom on Bitcoin? That's the most important question to answer, right? Was this the bottom on Bitcoin? Because if this is it, then possibly we're gonna move out higher from here, and that was the bottom. And once we're gonna trend higher to confirm, once we're gonna be here, then this gonna be confirmed that this was the bottom, and then we start trending higher. That's when altcoins here and meme coins are gonna start raging and pumping, right? Because then we're gonna confirm a bottom, right? So we wanna preferably do it before that happens. We wanna guess it before, so then we be the ones catching the real actual bottom. So what happened here? Here we had Japan getting liquidated. We had a big problem with Japan, and some things were happening in their economy, and this caused a bit of a freak out in the US stock market and also Bitcoin, which dropped Bitcoin. So this we can call, this was a black swan, right? Something like it's not usual. Japan getting liquidated and causing the stock market in the US to collapse as well, and crypto with it, right? Bitcoin with it. So since this 49K bottom, we actually trended higher. We went towards 65K. And if we go down to the daily, right, like the lower time frames on daily, and look at what Bitcoin has been doing, right? So since it went to the 65K level, it kept going down, bleeding. But now everybody's looking for this level here to be taken, right? This 49K, and maybe possibly lower. People are calling for 40K, 38K and stuff like that, which basically what marked the bottom in that 15K bottom, when people were calling for even lower prices. But what's happening here is, if we look at it at a lower time frame and we just draw a line from here, from that previous low around 53K, what we see happened now, let's put that one on a different color. What we see happened is that Bitcoin wicked here. So maybe that's the old range, right? Like this is the actual range without that Japan problem that happened that got us to wick down towards 49K and back up within the range, which is that 53,400 or 52Ks, something around that, like 52, 53, we can say this is a range. And now again, Bitcoin is bouncing off that, right? We can see that happening here. So that's an important level, we can say. So what's the next level here? And that's the level that we want to be looking at, that's going to confirm that we bottomed at 49K. This is when we're going to confirm it's a bottom. So we've been trending within a range previously here, which was the floor, or around 60K level, which was around the floor for Bitcoin for a while. So if we put it here, we can chicken it a bit. This is actually the real true level we want to be looking at, which is around 60K. So what we see here, guys, is we had it hold us for a while. So you can see that this was a massive support here, right? We had a bit of a wick, then down above it, then back up, right? Then here we touch above it, then back up. Then here again, we went below it, but then we passed through it here, but no strength. And then we kind of struggled around it here. But 60K now is kind of like a real support resistance level, also because it's psychological. 60K per Bitcoin, whatever people want to do with that level, either buy there, or we're got miners that kind of do their calculations and stuff, like they want to sell at around 60k Bitcoin or whatever. So it's a very important level on Bitcoin. So we can say that as soon as Bitcoin actually starts forming above that level from this low, right, and never coming back to 49k and coming back up here to 60k and 65k here around this region, and we come back here, then we're going to start to slowly change market structure, which is very important, which means we did not go and put in another lower low, right, another lower low, which should be Bitcoin going here, but instead Bitcoin will come back here and stay around these levels. So, and take out this previous high, which is the 65, then it's gonna look like something like that. It's still gonna be ranging, it's still gonna be looking like it's an actual range, but nothing is happening. But there gonna be some sign of strength because we did not come back to 49k and we're back now at 65. Maybe we're gonna come back out again here at 60k and hold there, but it's slowly gonna start shifting the momentum towards the upside, right? This is one thing, or one way we can look at how this can possibly be the bottom on Bitcoin, that 49k, just by this playing out. Now we're seeing so far this is playing out, right, 55k. Now the second thing what I'm guessing is very important, which is the monthly candle. Since September started, which started here, let's say this color here, this line here, it started here, it started with a sell-off, and which is something, if you watch one of the previous videos which I told you the same thing, right, like we might see a sell-off at the beginning of September. We might see a sell-off, right, just to get everybody to short, to get everybody bearish, because everybody now is saying September is the worst month for Bitcoin, and then get everybody bearish to short the lows here and look for the wick here around 49k, and then we send it back up higher to that September open and switch on and turn on that monthly September candle green. So if we come back to the monthly on here and check up on September, so this is the September candle. When it opened at 59k. So remember that 59k and 60k, this is the most important level that we want to be looking at, and this is the support. And if once Bitcoin is going to start trending above it, we can mark this 49k level as the actual bottom on Bitcoin, and we're never coming back there for the year, and we start the bull market. Remember that. So what do we need to actually see for Bitcoin to happen on Bitcoin to turn the September monthly candle green? Well, it's simply we needed to come back to that 59k here. We needed to come back here and hold. So this is what we really want to be looking at right now. So far we have a bullish reversal here. We have a bullish reversal. We came back to that 53k, which is the previous week here, which was also a very good support before Japan broke it down, and then we got like closed above it again, right, which was a strong level. So you can guess that there is a lot of demand here. A lot of people want to buy around these levels, and the same people are buying now here, pushing the prices up again. So what would happen is September green, if that actually plays out and we have at the end of the month we turn a green September, this would mean we're gonna come back to 59k and 69k, which is very close to it, right? Well, 1k in difference. Come back to it, and if you remember, we have again this range here. So this is the actual range we're looking at. Let's put that here in blue, and this is the range like 65k. So once we're gonna, even if we don't break above it, even if we just come back here and fake out everyone again and come back down, well, now what we did is, instead of doing a lower high and a lower low, going back to 49k and going again to maybe 59k and selling off from here, and we continue this trend, instead of doing that, which is what everybody's expecting, is that we keep doing that, right? We keep doing that. Well, now we're ranging in a different structure. Now we're ranging with between 53k and 64k, and this means we never came back down to 49k, which means that possibly was the low there, right? And that's going to be the confirmation that this was the low, even though I do think there is a very high chance that this was the low, very high chance that this was the low, and that was it. This is the bullish scenario, or like even not bullish, this is just like we keep ranging, but slowly we are changing structure, and without people noticing what's happening in the market, right? Without nobody noticing what's actually going on, which is basically we're bouncing again from here, right? We're bouncing from here, we're coming back to close September green, and maybe October we come back up here, start October green for another like move up, green October, to come back down, close October red, and then start trending higher. By the end of the year we actually have the bull market, which means by then, right, the lows or these prices that you have here on altcoins or whatever on Bitcoin are not gonna gonna be revisited and they're not gonna be seen again, right? So the market is gonna switch back bullish. So to summarize Bitcoin here, guys, it's pretty bullish to be bouncing from here, from 53k. It's pretty bullish to be bouncing from here. I'm looking at that 59k to be flipped, and then if we are really super bullish, then we actually take out 65k. We just need to take it out. We don't need it to keep going. If it keeps going and pumping, good days, happy days. But if it just break it up and come back down, which is very likely, we see a first rejection from here, because a lot of people are gonna freak out and start charting or whatnot. If we see a rejection still, that's gonna be a very bullish sign, because we came back to the previous high, we did never come back to the previous low. So this is a very clear sign of bullish market structure change. Now the second thing is others. This is what it's all at, right? So nobody cares about Bitcoin, nobody's buying Bitcoin. We all here are buying altcoins because that's what the game's at, and especially meme coins this cycle, because that's what actually the narrative of this cycle is, right? So what's going on here, guys, is this is others. This is actually reflecting every chart that you'll be looking at now. If you look at any chart, it'll look like it's just looking like that, and it's kind of broke out of this range, right? This is by market cap, like this is now at 186 billion in market cap for the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 by market. What you see here, guys, is we have this kind of support now here at around this 150 billion market cap for the total altcoins below the top 10. We kind of deviated below that. We had another impulse up, and then we're back retesting. This is actually possibly the main bottom here for altcoins. The same thing happened here. If we look at it, this is the weekly, but this is basically the same thing that we seen on Bitcoin. This is the actual August dip, right? Like that Black Swan, Japan and stuff like that. And we did not come back to it. Even altcoins now are kind of bottoming and flooring because there is no more selling off happening. You can see it, right? Like we had this week, that August week, the same week here. We never came back to it, even with alt, right? Even alts are showing strength and are showing some sort of a floor price like forming here around, let's put a line there. So it's around 180 billion market cap for the total altcoins, excluding the top 10. So it's basically this, right? So if this was the bottom again, right? If this was the bottom here, then we're never gonna see those prices again, whatever prices we have there. Now we can still trend lower, right? We can still slowly bleed here while Bitcoin is confirming. Would we come back to this wick? We don't know, but this, you can see that once we wicked back there, we kind of have a very massive mean reversal from there. This means a very strong buying zone here. And even when we look at it on the monthly, right? On the monthly, this is others on the monthly, the altcoins index, right? When we look at it on the monthly, what we see is we have 1, 2, 3, and now we're on our 4th monthly red candle on these alts. And you can see as well that it's kind of bottoming as well, right? So we had this June, then July week. Actually, that bottom on that week on July is what's holding the price right now. And we're slowly kind of slowing down the sell-off. And at some point, we're going to start to have some green candles and possibly a bottoming pattern here. Like we might start to see this bottoming pattern forming and a reversal, right? So keep in mind, right, for the people that want to get rich quick, right, and wants the prices to reverse back up very fast and stuff like that, these processes, they do take time, right? Those are monthly candles. Those are prices that take time. What we want to answer is this is the bottom, so we can actually buy and hold and wait for that to actually come to fruition, and we start to see the actual bull trend, which lasts a long time. So you can see here from this bull trend here that we had on altcoins, it actually took 274 days. If we count even here, it took around 300 days where we just kept going up and making gains and making life-changing money. What I explained in another video where I explained that this is where most people that bought the dip in 2022 made money, right? It was this, right? It was this. So most people actually joined in very late, right? In kind of March, April 2024, and since then we just kept bleeding. So a lot of things are showing that we possibly are bottomed here, right? Very likely. Even altcoins, as you can see, altcoins are even more bottomed than Bitcoin because they've been getting the most sell-offs possible, more than Bitcoin. So those are the things. Now when it comes to meme coins and which altcoins to buy and stuff like that, I've seen this very important heat map here where this is the last 200 days with which altcoins are still up and how much gains are they up, right? So this 200 days, why 200 days is important? Because I'm guessing everybody joined at the top, right? Which is the truth, right? Which is basically what the market does is get everybody buying the top. So what we have here is like, you see this 180 days. So if we spread this around 200 days, so basically it's around here, around Bitcoin, 60k Bitcoin. This is when everybody started to buy. So everybody that bought here at around 60k Bitcoin, are they up? Are they down? which altcoins are they in profits in, and which altcoins are they are not in profits in. So they are in profits on Bitcoin, right? They're up 8%. They're up 32% on BNB. They're up 23% on Sol. They are down on XRP 2%. So most of these chains and blockchains and utility coins are not too up and not too much in profits, like TRX or Tron Network, which seen a recent pump fund version going on in meme coin season, 10% up, right? Tron Network, the Telegram one, is up 144%, right? This is a sign of strength, and this is what we want to see, because these are coins that people are in profits on and most likely to like more and most likely to keep buying because they are in profits on. Also, we can see the most undervalued ones, but what I want to show you is this. So look at WIF. WIF, actually, Floki and Pepe are the ones in the highest return, are the ones that have still the highest percentage gains in the last 200 days. So Pepe is up 500%, which is 6x, which is massive, right? Massive to be up that much, right? If you actually even came in late to the cycle, or like to the previous run, right, on Bitcoin, you came in late, you're still up 6x on Pepe. You're still up 370%, or like almost 5x, 4x and a half on WIF, on dog WIF hat. And you're still up on Floki almost as well, 4x on Floki, right? And look at that, like not so many people can say that about other coins. Like there is this mantra up 300%, but not so many people can say about their coins. They can say that they are still up 5 to 6x on their coins, right? So most people are still in profits, with big profits on Pepe, WIF and Floki. So what this tells me here is a lot of people are still happy with crypto, and especially with their meme coins holdings. They're happy with those, and most likely these people are gonna tell other people and everybody also that is looking at this right now and looking at the market down and looking at which assets are still the strongest in this down market, right? They're gonna be looking at this and they're gonna be noticing which coins are the actual strongest coins, right? So we have TON as a blockchain is the strongest, right? We do have some others like Shiba Inu is actually up only 37%, Fetch is only 4%, and we don't have many actually utility coins. Let me look at here. So we have only TON and Solana as well, but Solana 23%, TON is 144%, right? That's when it comes to these utility coins, right? So don't be surprised to see TON people and community be very happy and very loud because they are very in profits. Like it's not too much, it's like a 2x, but they're still, regardless, they are still in profits. So you can't say that about a lot of other coins. They are all in red, right? These are the guys that are calling for lower prices now, and they are screaming and they're calling, oh, this is a scam. Look at what the coins they hold, right? These are the coins they hold. They hold DOT, they hold Link, they hold Kaspa. Even Kaspa now is down. So you have XLM. Those are like all the old cycle coins, but you have SUE, which is a new cycle coin, money grab as well, blockchain and stuff like that. Those people are very loud now, and they bought the top on SUE. They bought, what else we have? So we have IMX, which is like a gaming infrastructure. We have Render AI infrastructure. These are down bad, right? Like we have Tao, which is a new coin as well, new cycle coin, down 58%. These people are very loud now, and this IMX actually is down 62%. And we have Lido LDO. This is a liquid staking, but we have HBAR down 54%. So this is something actually also very, very popular as a blockchain. You have Chia, right? Celestia down 75% in the last 200 days. This is actually crazy, right? Against Pepe, which is up 6x. So this tells me, guys, here we know clearly which are the winners of this cycle and which coins should we be betting, should we be bidding, should we be buying, just by looking at this, right? This is not gonna change much, right? Even Shiba Inu is up against like the whole market here. All these utility white paper warriors, we're still up against them on Shiba Inu. That's crazy, right? So you have this wild coin, world coin, like the ChatGPT kind of coin, which is down 83% in the last 200 days. Anybody that bought in the FOMO phase is down 83%. Chia also down 75%, as we saw. So we have Optimism, the layer 2, down 60%, Arbitrum 71%. So those are all signs. Atom, this is an old cycle. It did not even participate in this market, but we see now what's up, right? Now we have Bitcoin Cash up 20%. This is also some beta play on Bitcoin, let's say, for people that are playing the Bitcoin ETF narrative and stuff like that. It's been rallying since Bitcoin had an ETF. A lot of people now are turning into Bitcoin Cash as because it's like the second decentralized. If Bitcoin now is a Wall Street coin, and it's slowly gonna start to become less centralized because BlackRock and their guys are gonna buy all the Bitcoins from the spaghetti hand. So what's gonna be the alternative? People are betting on Bitcoin Cash. That's why it's very strong, still up in the last 200 days, up 20%. And we see like XRP is barely stable, right? It's down 1%. Like it barely goes up or down, so it's a stable coin at this point. But we see what's people are betting on. We have Pepe as the major gainer. That's why I'm always big on the Pepe versus Pepe and stuff like that, right? Bet on each and stuff like that, because this is gonna play out. And especially people that want to allocate, that have big money, they want to allocate to these coins. They're slowly seeing this. Like they're gonna have to see it throughout this bull market. At some point, they're gonna have to accept the fact that this market now is mainly dominated by meme coins, and they're gonna start buying those meme coins that we see now that are actually the strongest, showing most of the strength. We have BONK as well here, up 40%, but you see like Pepe is the strongest and the largest gainer, followed by with 380% and Floki 268%. Now Floki is not as high as BONK in the market cap. Let's look at that. Yeah, Floki is actually higher. So when we see this here, we have Pepe, we've had Floki. These top three here are the biggest gainers in the last 200 days, right? Anybody that joined in and FOMO bought into any of these three is still in profit. That's very massive, because the same people are looking at this now, and the big people, the smart money, the large whales and stuff like that are looking at this, and they want, let's say they want exposure to an ETH beta, like a play on ETH. They will go for Pepe, and then once Pepe is gonna rally, we have Brett on ETH, and we have those others on ETH that are similar to Pepe. Those are gonna benefit immensely from that Pepe narrative. This is very important to look at that Pepe narrative. We have WIF as the strongest Solana meme coin. Now it's still one of those strongest Solana meme coins, right? And we do as well obviously have Floki, which is on ETH. So those seem to be the major narratives that are holding right now, right? And still are the major narratives, right? So I know a lot of people like Kaspa, right? Kaspa here is down 7%, which is not that bad, right? It's not that bad for a utility coin down 7%, right? If you think about it, like most people that bought it in FOMO are only down 7%. They're not gonna feel bad about it, right? They're still gonna have like they're not gonna panic sell for 7%. They're gonna hold that. So it's doing pretty well when you look at other coins. It's doing pretty well, right? Now here as well, what we have is Cardano down 41%, which is possibly, and we have AVAX down 35%. These are possibly the next blockchains to follow Solana, and they're still down, right? They're still down. So that's something very interesting to look at, that Pepe is actually the top gainer still and remains undefeated, right? Followed by Dog with Hat and Floki. This is why this cycle is about meme coins, and the strongest meme coin narrative this cycle is the Pepe verse narrative. So I shared with you Brett on ETH. This is also very massive, right? Pepe, Brett, ETH, and mostly the Pepe verse narrative on ETH is gonna be very huge. Looking at this, and Pepe is gonna still be the biggest gainer, as people look at it as the safest bet on ETH. If you want to buy something cheaper than ETH, if you think ETH is gonna do 2x, you want something that's gonna do 20x, right? If you're well with millions of dollars, you want to do a 20x or 10x on something, you will buy Pepe, right? Because you look at it like that, you see it's strong, so nothing is really gonna affect it, even in these kind of market conditions. And once they're gonna do that, you can imagine what's gonna happen to the other ones. So if Pepe does a 10 to 20x from here, the Brett ETH is gonna do like 100 to 200x because of the market cap relativity, right? So that's the thing here, guys. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep updating you. Don't forget to join my Discord. Link in the description. It's free to join for daily updates. You can also follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.